Is I'm about to peel this turmeric. I use a glove just because I know it gets all stained all in your hands. You get all yellow and stuff. And since I'm going to continue doing this video, I'm just going to show you that this is how I peel the turmeric. And of course you have to wash it when it's done. Okay. If you don't mind getting your hands all stained, then I guess by all means don't use a glove. But if you don't want your hands all stained, then you just put a glove on. Okay. I'm gonna peel the ginger. This is just in case you don't know how to peel a ginger root. This is how you do it. Basically just take off the skin off. Okay. Use a peeler. You can always use a spoon if you want. I decided to use my peeler. But yes, you can use a spoon. Same thing for the turmeric. You can also use a spoon. It's probably the best way of going. But I have this peeler in hand, and that's what I'm going to use for the carrots also. Okay. Vegetable. It's called kohlrabi. It's my first time using it. Reason why I'm using it is because I'm going to add it to my chicken soup. And I read on it, and it says that it's a good source of vitamin C. It's actually much better than an orange. Has powerful antioxidants. It helps to boost your immunity system. Yeah, it protects against many viruses, diseases. But in this area, we're going to be using it for the cold, coughs, flus, whatever it is. It helps as an anti-inflammatory, basically. Okay, and this is how we clean it up and we use it. This is a tough area, and this is soft. So basically, what I'm gonna do is and you have to peel it basically. So I'm gonna cut it here in this area. So it's kind of a tough. See, it's tough. You know, the main thing is that this is a thick fiber here, and I'm supposed to peel this whole thing off. So we're gonna do that side, then I'm gonna do this side, and I'll continue taking it off. These usually come with big leaves on them. I bought it from the market, and it came like this. But I think from a farmer's market, you might be able to get it fresher, and it'll come with leaves, and you'll have these little stems that you'll have to take off. But like I said, you know, it comes with big thick leaves like this. And the main thing is just to cut it all up like this, taking off all this thick fiber. You don't want to take too much off, but enough. Whatever I can take off, I'll take it off with a peeler. But yeah, this is how you clean it up and you peel it. You can just use a knife for best. It's a bit on the thick side here. So you can see it just like kind of peels off on the side. And then whatever else you cannot, if you have a little paring knife, you can use this, or you can use your peeler. Same, just kind of takes off those fibers that you don't want on there. And this is how you clean it up. And like I said, you know, reason why I'm using this for the first time is because I read up on this, and I'm trying to see the benefits, many benefits from this actually. Something about cancer, heart disease, strokes, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of like nice and ready to go. And so this is how I'm going to cut this. Okay, it goes in half, goes down, kind of tough, and then down. A couple of slices here and here and here and here, and one little area here. And you want them this size, so you can go into your chicken soup. And basically that's it. So I'll continue cutting this, and I will finish up Okay. So now we're gonna start with the garlic, the ginger, and the turmeric. And you're supposed to use either a 3-inch turmeric, but since I'm making a bigger pot, I'm gonna use about almost 5 inches of it or less. And or you can always use a half of a teaspoon of turmeric, the powder, if you don't have if you cannot get the root of turmeric, sorry. The other thing is you use 6 cloves of garlic, but since, like I said, I'm using a bigger pot, I'm going to be using, I think it's like 8 to 10 of them, okay? Another thing is the ginger is going to be about 2 pieces of ginger, and I will be using a bigger one because I'm using a much bigger pot to do ginger. So basically I'll start right now with the turmeric, and I'm going to slice it like this. And basically what turmeric is for, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's a strong antioxidant, so if you're congested or something, you can kiss that goodbye, because this will help you. Turmeric has many benefits, and what I use it for is arthritis. I use it, high blood pressure, heart, many things. But anyways, right now this is for the chicken. Next I'm gonna do the garlic, and I'm gonna cut it into little thin slices. Actually, I have garlic every morning. I have about 2 to 3 cloves a day, and the reason why I use this is because it helps to fight like viruses, helps for inflammatory, like I said, for heart. It actually helps me to stay away from a lot of viruses out there, colds, flus. Why I'm using it in the soup is because it helps kill bacteria, and basically it just reduces your coughs, your colds. It destroys anything that's making you feel ill. And so this is why I'm adding so much garlic into this soup. I'm making a much bigger batch of soup, so I normally don't have a measurement for what I use. I kind of just go by my eye and I cut. But right now I know that I'm videotaping this, and I need to give some kind of more information on to what I'm doing, and so that's why I'm saying I'm adding you should add 6 garlics, but I'm gonna be adding anywhere from 8 to 10. Okay, and so these are all chopped up like this, and I'm gonna put them over here on the side, and they go back in here. Okay, and then another one, and this is all good for colds, then we're gonna go with the ginger, and like I said, I'm supposed to use 2 pieces of ginger, which were basically, this is a huge ginger, but like I said, I'm doing a much larger amount of soup, so I'll be using these, and this is how I'm gonna be cutting the ginger. What is ginger for? Ginger is actually a rich antioxidant. It helps for an inflammatory system. It fights infection. It actually helps to boost your immunity. It's a pain reliever. It's basically for your respiratory system. It helps to fight infection, and if you're going through like some kind of bronchitis, it'll help for that too. But yeah, this is pretty much what all these 3 are for, and these are a must-have in every chicken soup. It's a must-have when it comes down to having ginger, turmeric, and garlic. we're cutting the garlic. So it's just so you to know. This is just to know that you must have garlic, ginger, and turmeric, because they actually help, so that it can clear all your mucus and coughs. It's a flu buster, basically. So these are good pieces. I'm not trying to be a professional here, trying to cut ginger or anything. I have no knife skills, as you can tell. I'm just cutting little pieces. And okay, so this is where that's at. Okay, and I will return, show you other things, and what to include into your chicken soup. I'm going to start with the spices just so you see. This is star anise, and I just put one. You don't want too much flavor into the soup. And basically this is a spice that helps in your to get rid of some of your phlegms that build up in your chest. It acts actually as an expectorant, and you just put one of them in. You don't need more. And secondly, you're gonna use the oregano. I didn't find any fresh one, but I'm using the dried up one, and you're gonna use about, I'm gonna say, like a tablespoon or so. But if you're gonna be having the fresh one, the best to do is 3 tablespoons of the chopped one that's fresh. But I'll be using one only, and that's because it's the dried up one. And what is this for? This is good for many things, especially when it comes down to reducing your coughs. If you're having bronchitis or something, it helps to ease the sinus pain. Anything with colds, flus, symptoms, anything like that. Oregano is very good. If you have oregano oil, or if you want to make oregano tea or something, it helps, in that area. And another thing is the thyme. These are fresh ones, so for the thyme, what I'm going to be using is about 3 of these. But like I said, I'm making a larger pot, so I'll have more than that. But you just need about 3 of these, and this is the fresh ones. So use about 3 of those, but I'm be using more. I like more flavor in my soups. And thyme is good. It's a good source of vitamin C. It actually helps to boost the immunity system. It helps you clear up your lungs. It helps in anything that has to do with the cough. So it basically just treats your cough. Okay. And secondly, I have rosemary. Rosemary, and again, it's fresh, and it's best to use it fresh. And you're supposed to use 2 stalks. And like I said, this is a pretty big one, so I'm using this big, large one here. Fresh is the best again. And rosemary helps to stimulate your immune system. It helps to alleviate the headaches, fevers, anything that's going along with the flu and cough. It's good for it. And that's for that. Then I have the bay leaf. I usually would tell you to use, oh, by the way, you use three strings of this one, of the rosemary, just so you know before I forget. Okay, and back to bay leaves. Bay leaf is very, very, very good. Actually, I'm supposed to use about 2 or 3 of them. I'm using more than that because, like I said, I'm using a larger pot. I couldn't find any fresh ones, so I'm using the dried up one. And bay leaf is very important because it's very good during the cold and the flu season. It amps up your immune system. It contains a lot of vitamin C. It eases symptoms of coughs and colds. It helps you to clear your congestion. So basically, the bay leaf is a very, very, very important herb to use. So I would really, really suggest that you add this in your soups. Even have a tea. It's very good. Another thing is the cloves. Use only about 4 of them. I'm using 7 again because, like I said, I have a larger pot. And cloves are rich in antioxidants. They also have and contain a lot of vitamin C. It helps to boost your immune system. So cloves are very good also. Usually I use all these herbs when I'm having to do a tea or a remedy. I do a lot of teas during the cold season because it helps us to boost our immune system. It helps us with colds, coughs, flu, fevers, viruses. So I usually use these herbs when I'm making my teas, but I'm using them also for my soup. Lastly, I have the peppercorns, and the peppercorns are a good source of antioxidants. And use a couple of peppercorns. I say like a teaspoon of them, but you need the whole ones. So like a teaspoon of them would be fine. But like I said, I'm using more than that. And lastly, we're using some parsley. Parsley, you just need a chopped up. I think it's like about 3 cups of chopped up parsley. And I haven't chopped it yet, but you just chop this up and you add it into your soup. Well, same time when you put in the herbs. Okay, so we're done with this. We're going to talk about the lemongrass, lemons, and the lemon juice. Okay, and basically, lemongrass, it helps to for the sore throat. It relieves the cough. It boosts your immune system. So this is pretty good, and it's used in Thai food, Asian food, Oriental food, whatever. And I'm going to be using it in my chicken soup because it's very healthy and has a lot of health benefits. Like I said, and how I'm going to use this is first, well, you got to cut this, but you actually have to release some of the oils inside. So you hit it a little bit with this or with the edge of your knife blade. You can have a larger one, and this is how I'm releasing the oils in this lemongrass. Okay, it's very fragrant. It smells good, and I'm supposed to be using about 5 inches of the lemongrass, and they come like this. Okay, you find them in Asian markets, and this is what they come. You just take a couple of these leaves off, and it'll be very clean after that. You can use it, so you clear it up completely here. You cut off the end of it here in the bottom, and which is what I have already done. I already cleaned it up, so that's what you would use. And so back to what I'm saying. So I will make like little rounds so that I can use it in my chicken soup. And basically you can already see it. It's released already the oils, and it's very fragrant. It smells really wonderful. I love the smell of lemon. And I would add this into it's like I use this for my teas, but you can find these. I found this at an Asian market. I'm sure you can find it anywhere where they sell teas. I don't know if they're this large, but these are big enough. And I'm gonna put these in here because they're not good to eat. They're not edible. They're very hard. It's just for the benefits. And in here we also have the bay leaves. I'm gonna put the anise in there. I'm gonna put the peppercorns. I'm gonna put the cloves, so that when I'm done, I'm using it, instead of using the cheesecloth or something, I'll be using this, and I'll be putting them in here, and I'll show you later on how I put it into the soup. So okay, so I continue cutting this up, and I'll do this now. The next thing, or the next step, is I have a lemon orchard, and thankful, thank God actually, that we do have a lot of lemons and over year round. And if I don't, then I just I buy some of these containers at Michael's or anywhere else, and I mark them with the date that I've already squeezed them. So this is 2/20/2019, and I use them for anything actually: soups, teas, lemonade, any flavoring, anything that I want. This is the highest vitamin C, and I use it. So for this, I'm adding it to my soup also, and I'm going to use about 3/4 cup of lemon juice. I'm probably going a little higher because I have a larger pot, but you do about 3/4 of lemon juice. And lemon juice, actually this will help unclog your respiratory system. If you're all stuffed up from your nose and stuff, it'll help you to clear up your respiratory system. The lemongrass, what it does is it actually helps soothing your sore throat. It helps to relieve your coughs. It boosts up your immune system. Everything with high vitamin C, of course. And lastly, I'm going to use the lemon zest because it contains high amounts of vitamin C, and it supports the immune system. So what I do is I'm going to grab I'm going to grab a lemon, and I'm going to zest this, and I'm going to use about 1.5 teaspoons of lemon zest. Oh, I cannot really smell it. It smells really wonderful. I love the smell. It's amazing. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I'm gonna use probably more than 1.5 teaspoons. Probably take a whole spoonful. Only because, like I said, I'm making a larger batch. But you would probably only need about 1.5 teaspoons. So, with that said, this is the lemon that I'll be using for my soup. Okay, and I will continue the next steps. We're going to talk about the celery and the carrots. And you can use whole carrots. You peel them and they look like this, or you can do the baby carrots. You can use up to 2 to 3 stalks of carrots. You dice them, slice them, however. This is how I'm going to use mine. I will slice them like this. So, and what are carrots for? Carrots are actually very, very healthy. They contain beta-carotene, I believe that's what it's called, carotene or something like that. It actually helps in combating the respiratory infections, and they're also a good source of vitamins. And of course, what's a chicken soup without carrots? It's like peanut butter and jelly, I guess. You can say that. Okay, so you cut a couple of stalks of carrots, and then you get your celery sticks, and a couple of them again. And celery actually contains lots of vitamin C. It's loaded with vitamin C. It's considered the immunity, or the booster boss, I guess, of immunity. It helps again with flu, and it's another thing that people add to their soups, their stocks, chicken stocks. It's very beneficial for you. It's actually, like again saying, there's no peanut butter jelly sandwiches without carrots and celery. So there's no chicken soup without celeries and carrots. So this is how you can make them smaller. I'm doing many larger pieces because I'm having a larger pot. But yeah, so I'll come back at this later, and I'll let you know when I'm gonna add it. And this is pretty much it. Another item that I'm gonna add on the chicken soup, onions. I prefer the red ones. The yellow ones are okay, and I mean you can use either one, but I kind of prefer this one better because it has more benefits. They contain vitamin C. It helps to fight the inflammation. Overall, I think the purple onion is best suited for fighting colds. you know. And I'm just gonna cut it quickly, and hoping that I'm not gonna irritate my eyes or my camera person here. So I'll do this very quick. I know as long as you don't cut the core, you won't start crying, but yeah. So here we go, real quick. And how you cut it doesn't really matter. What I'm gonna do is just gonna put it halfway, because I'm gonna add this in the chicken soup. Actually, when the water starts boiling, I'm gonna add it. So that's pretty much it. Red onion. This is not necessary for the chicken soup, but it can be added. You can, they're small potatoes. You can use any kind of potatoes. These are the ones that I'm going to be using. And you add them whole. I think it's the best way, washed of course. And the other one, you can always use egg noodles or any kind of pasta you want to, even rice, whatever you want to add. Even quinoa, you know. It's all up to you. Couscous. But yeah, this is what I'm going to add, but you don't have to, it's not necessary. It's just what I'm going to add. Okay. Chicken. I usually use a whole chicken because, believe it or not, the beneficial thing of a chicken soup is in the bone. The chicken broth is the best because it's in the bone. It's rich in minerals. It helps support the immune system. Overall, it's a beneficial thing, and it helps to reduce inflammation, helps with the respiratory system, helps soothe your sore throat. It's loaded with vitamins. It calms congestion that builds up, in other words, like mucus and stuff. You know, so the best thing here is the bone inside this chicken, and that's why I guess a lot of people will use like breast, they use the thigh, the leg, whatever. But in reality, it's in the bone. The bone is what benefits the chicken soup overall. And I'm not no expert cutting chicken, believe it or not. So I will end up there, and later on I will come back and show you. So here are the pieces of chicken. I'm not the best butcher, but I did my best cutting it apart. So here are your breast. Here you have your 2 wings. You have your 2 legs. You have your 2 thighs, and part of the neck, of course. That's it. Another thing is you can add chicken broth to it, which you add about 8 cups of broth. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to start my chicken soup. Okay. I have this water. It's been boiling. This is my, I want to say my herb sash. I didn't have any cheesecloth, so I'm using this, which is pretty good. Inside here I have my lemongrass, I have oregano, I have bay leaf, I have the anise, I have the cloves, and I have the peppercorns. And that's gonna go in here, and it's gonna be like a little broth. It starts the broth. And so then I'm gonna start adding the chicken, because this water has already been boiling. So I'm adding all the chicken. I actually have a huge pot, so I cut up 2 chickens, and I will be adding all the chicken in here. And once it starts boiling, I'll have this cook up for 15 to 20 minutes or so. And what else am I going to add to this? First I'll start this, and then I'm going to add the onion, the garlic, the turmeric, and the ginger. But for right now, I'm gonna let this boil for a bit, and I'll come back. It has been about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna start adding the onion. So I'm adding a whole onion in this one. I'm gonna be adding the ginger, the garlic, and the turmeric. Okay, and I will also be adding the salt. So it's a sea salt. Of course, I know it says to add kosher. It's about 2 tablespoons, which are here. I'll probably add a little bit later, a little bit more. And then, of course, I'm using my chicken broth. It's about 32 ounces. This is to add about 8 cups of chicken stock. But I'll be using 1 for now, and we'll see where that goes. And that's what I'll be adding for now. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna add the rosemary and the thyme, and we'll let this heat up and boil. Got about another 15 minutes or so, and we'll see if the chicken is tender. But in about 10 minutes or so, I'll be adding the celery, the carrots, and the I forgot the name of it. How is it? Kohlrabi, something like that. Kohlrabi. Okay. I'll be adding the vegetables. I'll start with my potatoes. I'll just add a couple of them. Slowly wash them, and then you put them in here. I like these smaller potatoes. They cook a little faster. I like to leave the peel in it because, believe it or not, they also have some kind of nutritional value. So I'll add the kohlrabi and the celery and the carrots, and I'll cover it and let it simmer for about an additional 20 minutes, and it should be done. I will garnish it with parsley, lemon, and add some cayenne pepper if you want. The lemon zest, yes, another thing I will use as a garnish. Okay. I'm gonna add the egg noodles. I don't like to add it to the actual soup, so I'm gonna have an extra pot with chicken broth that I took out from the chicken soup, and I'm just gonna let it get soft, and then I'll leave it at like al dente, and then it'll be ready to go, and I will show you how we garnish it, and it'll be good. Let's go. So here's a chicken soup, and it's all done. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Everything is still there, and all I gotta do is remove this, and lemongrass. Everything is in here. See? You don't have to remove anything. I know if you want to add the rosemary inside this little tea ball, it's okay. I mean, you don't want the rosemary inside it. See, it's fine. Go ahead and add it into this little tea ball. Another thing is, I did the noodles separate. I don't like them to get overcooked, so everything is separated here, but it's the same chicken stew that I used from over here. Okay, I'm all done, and this is my soup, and I'm gonna garnish it now. So I'm gonna add some parsley, some lemon zest, and cayenne pepper. I know you can add a little bit, you can add a lot, it's up to you. But believe it or not, I'm going to tell you, cayenne pepper by far is probably highly recommended. I know it'll be a little spicy, but it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. It's a natural decongestant. It may also relieve your fever, lower your body temperature because it's going to make you sweat. It starts stimulating your glands, and it decongestants and may decrease the mucus. It thins it out and it liquefies it because cayenne pepper is spicy, once again. But if you can handle it, handle it. If you like spicy stuff, it's good. Another thing is, I know you can add some lemon. I know I was going to use the one that I already squeezed, but because I'm using the one that I'm using the lemons that I took the zest off, I'm not going to throw them away. So I'm going to use the lemon, and I'm going to use it to squeeze it. I usually like a lot of lemon in mine, just because I love lemon, and it helps for many things. Like I already told you guys, it helps you to support your immune system. It has high amounts of vitamin C. So that's pretty much it. And with that, I can conclude this video, which I've dedicated to my children, my grandchildren, if I don't get to see them. But it is a natural remedy for colds. And with that said, I'm going to say this is it. Just remember, Mama told you that chicken stew would help you, and you would get better, and you'd get back on your feet. It is soothing for your sore throat. You'll love it, and it'll do your body good. I know they say milk does your body good, but so will chicken soup. So I loaded up this chicken stew for you, and I gave you some information. Hopefully you can pass this on to your own kids and know that this is all me. Thank you and love you all.